Hi everyone, welcome to day 9 of 30-day coding challenge. So yeah, I am again lagging behind. I think I'm 2 days behind. Um, yeah, I got busy with work, but here I am, yeah, and trying out day 9 question um, in front of you guys. Um, let's give it a shot. So you're given two strings and you have to return if they're equal or not. So the strings will be like it says will contain only lowercase characters, and if or hash characters. So if there is a hash, that means a backspace character. So if you see, what does this mean is we have a b, and then if I have a hash, that means I have pressed a backspace character, that means I remove b, right? And then I have C. So my final string is AC. Similarly, when I have A, D, I press backspace, that means I delete D, so I have A, and then I get C. So these two strings are equal, so we need to find this out. Typically, it asks us to do an O of n and O of 1 time. The most easy way would have been, uh, we can do it in O of n, but I would love to use extra space, which is like I use a stack, and as I get elements, I keep pushing it to the stack. So I get A, then I get B. When I get a hash, um, I'm gonna pop this element out, which is like I'm gonna pop B out, and then I get C, so I push it in. So after I have iterated over my string, I just pop all the elements out and form a string. So I have AC, or I can actually create CA, like based on what elements are there, because it doesn't make a difference, because when I run the same thing on this string AD hash C, so I get A here, then I push D here, then I have hash, so I remove this, and then I have C. So when I pop it and create a new string, I get CA. So these two strings are equal, but it asks us to do it of one space. That means the string has to be in place. So let's try to figure out a way we can achieve this. So I think this question then could be solved the way we previously saw one question in week 1, where I don't remember it exactly, but I think we used something with two pointers. Like I kept a variable, extra variable index. So so it's like if I encounter a valid letter, I'll increment my index, and as soon as I get an invalid letter, like a hash character, I decrement the index. So it's like, let's say I have initially index equal to 0, so I iterate over the string, and what I do here is I have s of index equal to s of I. So till the time my uh, character is valid, right? If so, I increment index something like this. Let's see. So when I have a, index is 0, I give s of a, 0 is a, and I increment index, which is 1, so index becomes 1. Then I get b, so s of 1 becomes b. Then I have hash. So in case of hash, I can just do, let's say, index minus minus, and next, so I index, so obviously index would have been 2 after b, so index would have been 2, but I get a hash character, so my index becomes 1 again. And then when I encounter c, I use this, so my s of 1 becomes c. So in a way, my string becomes a and c, right? So then I think and then what happens to the other part? So I think the other part stays like this, which is like hash of c. right? So in this case, what I can do, my index is still here, so I have this much as the valid part, so I can scrap this part out because I already have iterated over it. It's just that it doesn't contain the correct values, right? Because I basically overwrote the previous values because of this hash. um, let's try to use it in code. I hope it works. So if my index is equal to 0, um, so I write a for loop to iterate over it um, if s of I equals hash. Else s of index is equal to sorry, s of index would be equal to s of I, right? And then I initialize index to 0. So if similarly t of I equals hash and index is greater than 0, else t of index t of I plus let me print and return true for now. Let's see. Mm, a b hash a hash c, wait, hash a hash c hash a hash c. Maybe I can take some index 1 here and index 2 here, so that I know indexes to start from different values. Let me see. Okay, so we start this index is at 0, so we start the for loop from, I think both their indexes should be same in order to for them to work, in order to for them to be equal, I guess. And then you start from 0 till the index value to check if they're equal, right? And if they aren't, then this is the wrong case. So a has c and b, a has c and so for this it will be 1 1, and then we check from 0 to 1, correct? Similarly in our case, a, b hash hash no, not this ab hash ad hash ab hash C. Okay, so um, our indexes should be same first to start the check. If they aren't, then it's not right. So if index index 1 is not equal to index 2, then we return false for sure. Then 0 then I go to index 1. Let's say if s of I is not equal to t of I, then we return false. And if none of these return false, then we return true for sure. So yeah, so index should be same because that means that till the same part we have replaced it. If they are not so how many test cases did we pass? Okay, so I think let's see what would be the values of this in our case. So y hash, so y is removed, fo hash, these are removed, so basically f stays. And then in this case y gets removed, f gets removed, 0 gets o gets removed, and then the extra hash, so we don't do anything. Okay, so I guess we need to check this part inside because what is happening, let's say in this case, so y hash f hash 0 hash, so this brings index to 0 value. Now because this is hash and this is hash, so it should actually go inside this, but we have a check that it should be hash, and if it's greater than 0 then we decrease it, so it goes into else and gives it a wrong value or gives it a hash value. So we don't need that, right? So in this case, let it go inside this if, and if index 2 is greater than 0, then we do index 2 minus, and this should be it. Otherwise it keeps the index value as it is, so this should give true. Okay, so I guess it was failing in those cases. Awesome. So I hope this case was clear that basically we need to keep the index value, and we just keep replacing the character that's at the index position, and if it's a hash we decrease the index if it's greater than 0, and if it's not we replace the value. Hope you guys like this video and this was understandable. I know it's a little complex to wrap your head around, but mostly questions like this are solved using two pointers the way I did. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to like it. Thanks everyone.